Hello, this is Christy. I want to show you a quick little addition to the Riverside editor that helps you save your scene layouts and reuse them so that you would save a lot of time when applying and changing scenes and layouts throughout your episode edit. Here's how it works. I am here in my editor and I'm editing this episode from the Builder Straight Talk podcast, and maybe I added a bunch of things to my scene. You see this scene here, it's got the guest and the host side by side. And at the beginning of the scene, I have a bunch of titles and text and names and titles. And also, let's add the logo as well. So maybe I want to show the logo in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go to my uploads. I have my logo here. I'll just choose this one here, and it's going to add it to the scene. I will, of course, customize the positioning, make it smaller, and put it in the corner right there. Let's assume that's the way I want it. And you can see down in the timeline, I would like this logo to actually become visible at the beginning of that scene right there. And let's make it, all the way to the end of that scene, whatever. So now this scene, I've taken a few seconds to customize it. I've got this title and the text and everything else. How do I reuse this without actually having to recreate it on my next camera change, right? So this is actually super easy. If you go now to the scene panel at the top here, you've got scene. So if you click on that, you have templates, which is something I'll show you in another video. But if you go here to my scenes, it has the ability to save this particular scene and reuse it. So this save scene button here will save this scene as it is here with the side-by-side people and the labels and the titles and the text and the logo exactly as you see them in this screen. So let's click Save Scene. And now let's go to another portion of the episode where I want to apply this same exact layout. I'm going to move down the line here somewhere else. Let's zoom out and I'll just go somewhere towards the end. It doesn't matter where. You can see my tracks are expanded here. I'm going to go to this particular location and add a scene, split that one and split here again like this. And let's assume that if I started editing this episode now, the layout would actually be, by default, would be different. So it would probably be something like side by side like this with the two tracks on their own. So let me show you how quickly it is to apply that layout. Instead of actually reassigning and redesigning this, you go again to the top here to the scene panel and go to my scenes and look at this. This is the layout that I saved earlier. If I click to apply this, watch this. It makes my scene look exactly like that. You can see now at the bottom the logo and these two titles and the names of the people showing up here at the beginning. So if I click now and play.
But we're doing it in a way that.
There you go. So that is a quick time saver. So I like to design different angles, in my episodes and save them as layouts. So for example, I may go to another scene and I say, you know what? Here the guest is talking for a while. I'm going to actually split this scene, Shift and S, and create a separate scene where the guest is by himself. So doing that, I'm going to go to Layout and apply Solo Speaker Layout, one of the pre-built layouts. And this is not the right person. This is actually the host. I'm going to click on this and switch the view to the guest right there like that. And let's add the logo as well. So I'm going to go to Uploads again, click on the logo and apply that. Let's make it smaller and move it in the corner again, or maybe the other corner. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Here we go. So now this particular scene where the guest, I need to adjust the duration of this logo just to make sure it appears in this layout all the time in this particular scene right there. And there you go. Look, that scene right now is just the guest and the logo. So now I want to save this. Again, you go to Scene at the top and then you go to My Scenes and click on Save Scene. There you go. So now, as easy as it is to apply it again, it's just going down here. Let's find another portion where I want to show the guest full screen. Let's go and split that, Shift S. Let's go here and Shift S, give them a little buffer. So right now, this layout just has both of them side by side. No problem. Go to Scene, My Scenes, and click on the guest. Sometimes I find that it switches to the wrong person. So if that happens, again, you click on the video and just switch that person. The logo and the layout is going to be the same. It's just the different people in there. I think if you want to apply the same person in different scenes, sometimes it gets the order wrong. You can actually swap the tracks in the tracks editor here. by just rearranging the tracks like this. And then in all of the layouts, for example, the ones where you are side by side, it's going to swap places between the two people. So look at this now, because I swapped it. Michael is on the right and the guest is on the left. If I swap them again, look at this. It just swaps them like that. And the same thing can happen in layouts where you have the guests side by side or whatever, and then you find that when you apply a layout, it will put them in the wrong direction or wrong order. Then you can just go to the layout here, and you see these little buttons here. It lets you swap the video tracks. So look at this, clicking on this one just swaps them like that, between the two layout boxes. So there it is, just a small time-saving feature to save scenes and reapply them. It works best if you work with them in the same episode, although these saved layouts can be used in other projects or other episodes later on if you have the same elements that you reuse all the time. Surely it doesn't beat the brand kit, which will have all these elements predefined, like the logo, intro, outro, and all those other things that are beyond just the one scene. Then they apply for the entire episode. So there you go. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Riverside for sponsoring this video, and I will see you in the next one.